Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use Smart Notebook to create what's called a magic portal. This is a magic portal activity I created for some first grade students. They were doing a night before Christmas unit, and as part of that unit I read Unibel Townsend's Race Car Driver's Night Before Christmas. So this activity allows the students to compare and contrast different elements of Unibel Townsend's story with the original version by Clement Moore. And this is how the activity works. We discuss each of these elements. For example, in the original Night Before Christmas, Santa drives the sleigh. To figure out how this part of the story is different in the Race Car Driver's Night Before Christmas, we just take this statement and we run it through the magic portal and it becomes the answer. In Race Car Driver's Night Before Christmas, Santa drives a race car. So as you drag each of these elements through the magic portal, the correct answer, the opposite statement is revealed. Now, if you're looking closely, you can probably already figure out how this whole magic portal thing works. But the important thing about it is kids aren't really looking that close and they think it's really cool. They're very impressed. And this is a very easy activity to create. So I'm going to exit out of the full screen mode and add a clean slide to show you how to create a magic portal activity. The first thing you want to do is split your screen down the middle between two opposite colors. And it's best to choose one dark color and one light color. I prefer to use one half of the screen white because it's just easier to read for the students. So I'm going to insert, you can go to insert and no, we're going to go this way. We're going to insert a shape. So we're going to go to these little toggle buttons here. And I'm going to click the shape button. And then I want the rectangle. And then I'm going to start over here at the corner and I just want to split my screen in half. And I only want one rectangle. So if you'll notice my cursor is still in that crisscross shape, that's because right now, while I have this button pressed, rectangles are all it will allow me to do. So I have to go back here and click the arrow button so then I can have full command over my mouse again. So I'm going to go down here. The way Smart Notebook is designed, when you're putting together a slide, you really have to scroll up and down to be able to access the full length of the slide. So I scrolled down and I'm just going to grab this little button here and jiggle around to let me move it. I'm going to go right here where it says extend page. I'm not going to go below that link there because I don't want to make my slide any longer. I'm just trying to split my slide into two colors. All right, so the rectangle's the size I want it, but I'm going to change its color. So since the outline is already black, to make it simple, I'm just going to make the fill black as well. Any really dark color works really well and because it contrasts nicely with white. Now, since this is going to be part of the background, I don't want the students to come up to the smartboard and move it by accident. So I'm going to lock it down. You'll notice that there's a little arrow button. When I click it, it opens up a nice little menu. And these are all the possible things that I could do to change this rectangle. Well, I want to lock it. Go to lock in place. Now the students won't be able to move it by accident when they come and play on the smartboard. All right, so I have my background set up, half black, half white. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding some question and answer statements. So I want to add some text boxes. I'm going to add them over here though, just because they'll be easier to see on the white for right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and just type a simple question. What is my name? Some examples of activities you could do with this is, simple question and answer. You could put math facts here, um, synonyms, antonyms, foreign language. You could have the French on one side or the foreign language on one side and then the English version on the other. So now I'm going to type the answer. Now, this is where it gets tricky. I only want the answer to this question to appear while the text box is on this side. My students are going to be able to move this text box around from one side of the slide to the other. When they move it over to this side, I only want the question to appear. So I'm going to highlight my question and I'm going to change the letters white because I want them to be the same color as the background. So notice they've disappeared. They're still there. I just changed them to white. So now I've got to turn on my arrow button again. So now when I move it from side to side, the question appears on this side and the answer on this side. That's all there is to it. But I don't want the students to accidentally edit the text or change the size or anything. So I'm going to go to lock. I'm not going to lock it in place because I do want them to move it around, but I'm going to say allow move. So now they can move it, but they can't accidentally make changes to it. So I'm going to set it over here. Now I've already locked it in place. If you know you're going to put more than one question and answer in this activity, I wouldn't lock it just yet, and here's why. I'm going to unlock it back. So you don't have to go through all the steps of creating a text box and changing the text colors. You can go to this little option in the menu that says clone, and it does a copy and paste for you all in one step. So I can add another question. How about what is my favorite color? And so I can just keep cloning these text boxes and then editing them until I have as many activities as I want. Let's say that's about all I want. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this little guy. And just have two. And I'm going to set them to move at the same time. So what I did is I dragged across both to select both. I'm going to show you a trick. Instead of clicking this arrow, I'm going to use my right click mouse button and I come up with the same menu. I used right click because it allows me to set the lock on both of them at the same time. So I'm going to set them both to allow move so the students can move them around but not change them. Now the last thing you want to add to your magic portal is the magic portal itself. And all this is a piece of clip art that you set on towards the middle of your slide. So I'm going to go over here to the gallery and I'm just going to do a search for pictures. Let's see if there's a nice picture of a book. The results are down here and I want a picture, so I'm going to click picture. There's a picture of a book and that'll do just fine. I'm going to move it across. And I do not want my students to move the book around. I'm going to lock it in place. And now we can move questions through the magic portal and they'll be answered on the other side. Again, the magic's somewhat lost on us because we've seen how this is put together. But when you have it prepared for the students and you let them mess with this themselves, they are actually pretty impressed and think it's fun to do. So this was the magic portal.